Had to say at the beginning of the show. Good morning, everybody.
It's one thing to make a commitment to eat better. The next step in that is knowing where your salmon comes from. The very best salmon comes from Chile, and that is oceansalmon.com. Go right now, oceansalmon.com. Use promo code ROCKSTAR15. You will get an additional pound of salmon, 15% off, and free shipping. Ocean Salmon, OSHENSALMON, oceansalmon.com. Promo code ROCKSTAR15. Free shipping, an additional pound, oh my goodness, and 15% off. Oceansalmon.com, OSHEN salmon.com. That's oceansalmon.com. Promo code ROCKSTAR15. Hurry, supplies are limited.
President-elect Joe Biden has a new cabinet position, and the name has already surfaced. USA Radio News' Dan Naraki has more.
President-elect Joe Biden introduced a new cabinet-level position Saturday, elevating the position of White House Science Advisor. Biden tapped Eric Lander, best known for working on mapping the human genome for the Post. Lander says Biden's science is a challenge to solve some of the nation's...
I have people like James Earl Jones and Muhammad Ali.
Betty White's a boy.
I didn't see Betty White. I swear to God, I didn't see
How old's
it.
Betty White?
I swear, I didn't see it.
99.
When I was looking it up, I didn't see it. I didn't do it on purpose.
Yep. January 17th, 1922. So, yeah. Definitely talk to her about it. That's awesome.
I'll mention it at the beginning of the show.
From the USA Radio News Ohio Bureau, I'm Dan Naraki.
We are USA Radio News.
At the American Veterinary Medical Association Annual Convention in Washington, D.C., I spoke with Dr. John Howe, AVMA president, about One Health.
One Health is really a collaboration.
There's always gonna be something that I miss when it comes to these birthdays and other things, and today in histories too. There's always gonna be something I miss sometimes. So yeah.
There's more valuable information at avma.org.
Considering the coronavirus pandemic during the 2020 holiday season,
The beginning of Operation Desert Storm started on this day
Clemens reports.
in 1991.
Pandemic that included numerous state restrictions on retailers,
But
consumers...
we'll get to that at the end of the show.
Chief economist Jack Kleinhans of the National Retail Federation called the 8.3% increase incredible.
Yes, it was incredible, and especially in a very unique year that we had in 2020. But it appears that consumers were able to splurge a little bit more on holiday gifts and spending. They had a little bit more money in their bank accounts, due in part stimulus payments. That extra money, I think, went a long way for making a unique and special
you're on.
holiday season for many
You
families.
need a haircut, Joe.
USA Radio News Texas
I know.
Bureau, I'm John Clemens.
I know this.
$697,
I'm well aware of it.
Back to college, $977, and number one, winter holidays, just over $1,000. Two of the four divisional games in the National Football League are in the books. Saturday, the Green Bay Packers sent the Los Angeles Rams home with a 32-18 victory over the Southern California team. In the other game Saturday, the Buffalo Bills had very little problems knocking out the Baltimore Ravens 17-3. Sunday has two games on tap. The Cleveland Browns play Kansas City Chiefs, 3:05 Eastern on CBS, and Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will face Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints at 6:40 p.m. Eastern on Fox. For USA Radio News, I'm Lance Pride.
3:05. Bam.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Alright, red mic goes up.
Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Alright.
I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review
January
with your
15th,
host,
the
Joey
big
Griswold.
molasses,
Stay tuned
flood
for
too.
news, Middleboro News, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to January 17th, 2021, the third edition of 2021 when it comes to Middleboro in Review. And happy birthday to Betty White. She turns 99 today. I had totally forgot that I actually didn't add it into my today's birthdays for famous people's birthdays. I totally didn't add it. And I feel bad. I feel bad. But happy birthday, Betty White. She turns 99 today. And we're going to say good morning to Dawn.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
I feel bad that I didn't add Betty White onto my birthdays
No.
for today.
You can't forget
I
about
didn't.
Betty White.
I totally forgot. I didn't know that it was her birthday.
She's a remaining Golden Girl. And everyone loved that show.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Friend. You always think that?
No, I didn't know.
That was a great show, actually.
It just escaped me.
My mom and my aunts, they all watched it together. That was the great show in the 80s. And the reruns are still running to this day, I think, on some stations. But there's groups, there's like Golden Girl groups, too, out there. I actually got a friend on Facebook, and big Golden Girls fan. Big time. Everything Golden Girls. You know what I mean? So people like the Golden Girls, and so it was a great show. And she's the last surviving member. And looking at her portfolio, 80 years in working in showbiz. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Betty White.
Happy birthday, Betty White. All right. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. And it was a day signed into law in 1983, first observed in 1986, and fully national holiday in 2000. All 50 states started to observe it in the year of 2000. For Martin Luther King Day, there is a event on YouTube tomorrow night called MLK, Creating the Promised Land Through Hope, Love, Joy, and Peace. Will be premiering on YouTube tomorrow night at 7 p.m. It is hosted by special guest speaker, the Wilson MLK Commission President, Reverend Roosevelt Etheridge Jr. of Wilson, North Carolina. So definitely check that out. It's going to be an important event, an important speaker, and an important event tomorrow night on YouTube. So, what are your thoughts, Don?
Yeah, that's Chris has been talking about that all week, right?
Yes.
About that event.
Yes.
So that's important that he's bringing that to a light so people can tune in. And the man had a remarkable life, and it was all peaceful. Everything for Martin Luther King was peaceful. He wasn't interested in what's peaceful, and he got results to a certain degree. So how old is he today? Does it say?
Martin Luther King. Let me look that up for everyone.
Well, his birthday is technically on the 15th?
Let me see. Yes, his birthday's on the 15th.
Right, it pops up.
And he would have been 92 today.
Really?
Yep. He would have been 92.
So, if he wasn't assassinated, he could have been around. He might have still been around.
Yep.
And,
he would have been.
Yeah.
Or he definitely.
Right. I mean, Betty White's 99, right?
Yeah.
He's still around. So it's not definitely not impossible. Right.
All right. Well, please check out that event tomorrow.
What is it again? Just repeat it again. The time.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Monday, January 18th, tomorrow night. So it's on YouTube. Please check that out. Very important event.
Right.
All right. Weather. It's cold.
A little cold.
It's cold.
It ain't that bad.
It's not that bad, but
Come
it's
on,
cold.
January 17th, and there's no snow on the ground. It should be like
Which
5
is a
below.
good thing.
Should be 5 below,
That
10 feet of snow out here.
That's a good thing. But, we have, winter temperatures out there. 35 degrees currently. And a high of 45 today. So it will get up to a relatively nice temperature today. Tomorrow is going to be pretty good. No rain in sight, so that should be welcome news to everyone. No rain in sight. Currently in Taunton, 34 degrees with a high of 45 and pretty much the same weather for Taunton. Driscoll, North Dakota, 26 currently, 31 for the high today, and tomorrow might get some snow in Driscoll, North Dakota. Right now, that's what they're saying. And actually, by the end of the week, you may see lows that get into the single digits.
In Driscoll.
Yes.
Not here.
In North Dakota.
Right. We're talking North Dakota now.
And North Dakota, it gets cold in the winter. It really does. You see negatives.
Right. We were waiting for those temperatures to come, and we talked about that, meaning at some point, I mean, you do Middleboro, Taunton, Massachusetts weather, and then you do the Driscoll, Texas, and I said, look, you got to get some crazy numbers come this winter, and I bet next weekend, next Sunday, I bet they're going to be in a pretty cold situation over there in Driscoll.
Yes, by the end of the week, the lows will be in the single digits. So it is cold. It's going to be cold.
So if we ever go to Driscoll, North Dakota, should we call the station and say we're there?
All right, Driscoll, Texas.
Well, we'd rather go to Driscoll. It's a little warmer in Driscoll, Texas, right?
A little bit warmer, 45 degrees currently, 73 for the high. So it will be a lot warmer than what Driscoll, North Dakota will be today. 79 for the high. Tomorrow, 84 coming up by the end of the week. So it's still some pretty nice weather in Driscoll, Texas.
It's very important when you say that to say Driscoll, Texas, or Driscoll, North Dakota before you.
Yes, because
people be walking
it's important.
in and turning on and say it's 80. It's 80. You know, it doesn't look like it's 80 out there. You know, so I think Mark said that one time. He said that, and he's like, well, he said it was. I think it was one of your repeats or something like that. He was like, you said it was sunny out. He was looking out the window and it was raining. Well, 5 blocks from here. So
today is also another important day in history. Today started Operation Desert Storm, which began early in the morning as aircraft strike positions across Iraq. It is also the first major combat sortie for the F-117 LCDR FA-18C Hornet. And that is shot down by a MiG-25, and it is the first American casualty of the war. Iraq fires 8 Scud missiles into Israel in an unsuccessful bid to provoke Israel retaliation. So, the Gulf War, January 17th, 1991. Operation Desert Storm, really important operation. Your thoughts, Don, on Operation Desert Storm?
Well, that started the whole Iraqi war situation, and that was a scary time. I remember Iraq was fourth largest army, I guess, in the world, and no one knew because we really haven't had a major war since Vietnam, other than Panama, which was limited, it was small, and other occasions we were in. I think Grenada might have been one of them, but this was big. This was a big coalition, so I remember a lot of people were really scared. And it just goes to show that air supremacy is key in anything, you know. And they did it right because I think they had total domination of the sky within a few days, which is huge.
And also on January 15th, 1919, happened the Great Molasses Flood of Boston. It killed 21 people and injured 150 others. It struck without warning midday on January 15th, 1919, It was a sticky, deadly tsunami that flattened an entire neighborhood within seconds. A giant storage tank containing more than 2.3 million gallons of molasses ruptured, unleashing a wave that rose at least 25 feet high. Rivets popped like machine gun fire. Elevated railway tracks buckled. Warehouses and firehouses were pushed around like game pieces on a Monopoly board. Tenements were reduced to kindling. So a really scary situation and really sad day in Boston, January 15th, 1919, the Great Molasses Flood.
You know what's funny about that? And I've read about this and I've talked to people too. You could, I mean, how much, what is it, 1.2 million gallons of flood? That's a lot of molasses.
That's a lot of molasses.
Okay? They said that I could smell it when I was growing up, late 70s, early 80s. 54 next month, so in 13, 14 years old, around 1980, 79, whatever, and 14 when I was in 81. But I remember when I used to take the subway and the Red Line in, especially around downtown Crossing, and pretty much all the subway stations, when it was warm, you'd smell a sweet smell. And I've talked to some old timers too, and they said, yeah, well, that's from the Great Molasses. It's just that smell just went. That molasses just went everywhere. Went on the ground, went everywhere. You know, you're talking 2.5 million gallons of molasses, and you're talking what? You're talking almost 80 something years later, or whatever. Or not 80. At that point, it would have been 60 years, or whatever. 1919. So yeah, you're talking 60 something years later. Yeah, I could smell it as a kid, and I was always had that smell, sweet like molasses, because so much of it went in the ground, and it is and then underground you're not gonna get it all out. It's all on the ground. I don't smell it anymore since they rebuilt all the stations, but I'm sure even to this day, I bet people probably do smell it here and there. But before they rebuilt all the train stations over the last 30, 40 years, you could smell it. I remember that smell, and it was from the molasses. So there's a little Boston folklore, I think.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a commercial break here in just a minute or two. You're listening to Middleboro Review. Middleboro Review is on 99.7 FM, 1530 AM. It's also on TuneIn. Search WVBF and you will find us. We're also on YouTube, Middleboro in Review. That is all lowercase when you type it in. And you'll find about 90% of our programs. I'm still working on trying to get most of them onto YouTube. There's a few that are taking a little bit longer than usual. But we are getting those onto YouTube very soon. So, and there's also one other thing. Facebook as well. The Facebook Live every Sunday. Middleboro in Review, all lowercase, and you will find the Facebook to tune in and listen to us on Facebook. But the most important place to listen to us is WVBF every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. All right, we'll be right back here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
From noon to 2 o'clock here on WBBF, the sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WBBF 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the
Who's the voice?
internet at towntalkradio.com.
I gotta print out my log.
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune in to Talkin' Birds, a show about wild birds, birding, and conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews and fun information about birds and birding. It's Talkin' Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
WVBF is your hometown radio station. And one of the things we like to do to support people in your hometown is to run community announcements. If you do belong to a nonprofit group or organization, or if you're an official with a city or town government, send your community announcements along to our email address. It's safe, it's fast, and allows us to get right back to you if we have a question. Send your community announcements to WVBF1530 at hotmail.com. That's WVBF1530 at hotmail.com.
You all
Thank
set?
you for listening.
You got a place box for your dog?
Radio
Yeah.
station is AM 1530.
That's why I was printing out my log. I
and
had forgotten
99.7
which
FM.
one is Spark Street Auto.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major
Prices averted.
companies. You can reach them at 583-1495. They're open
Gotta remember to print out the log before the show.
Thursday, 8 to 5,
Very important.
8 to 4.
Anytime in the middle of the night when
Call them today. You will not
DJs had to go to the bathroom, they play like Freebird.
Yeah.
I mean, they give them like, oh, not Freebird, yeah, Freebird.
Yeah, Freebird, because it was like a Terrence song.
Yeah. Or Dreams by Dreams by well, it has to.
Or Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, probably.
Yeah, but they would play that.
Very few of them would probably play that.
They would play that. Or,
Some of them probably would.
yeah, but
Not everyone, though.
yeah, that
'cause
wasn't.
it wasn't huge.
Yeah.
Like Power Slave and all these other ones on that album. That album's massive.
You gotta call Michelle and get a haircut this week, right?
Alright.
You make an appointment. Call Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll get one done, too.
by a volunteer who will add you to our list of clients. For the homebound or others who are
Okay,
self-quarantined, we will shop for you, deliver the groceries.
Is there anything else? No?
Would you, anybody tune in or no?
Nope. Not right now.
Of clients and volunteers, and have managed to remain open throughout the crisis.
There we go. Alright. And welcome back to Middleboro in Review. It is 7:26. Currently 7:26:45 here on Middleboro in Review. That is 7:26 and 53 seconds. Okay. Well, well,
What time's it now, Joe?
7:27:04. All right. Well, have a little laugh this morning. Dog licensing, very important. Residents of Middleboro. Dog licensing period began January 1st, 2021, and goes through March 31st. Items to bring with you. In order to license your dog, you will need to provide the following: a copy of valid rabies certificate and certificate of spraying and neutering. A fee of $15 per dog if your dog has not been sprayed. A fee of $10 if a dog has been sprayed. A reminder to license your dog has been included as an insert dog licensing worksheet with the mailing of the 2021 town census form. Residents may complete the form and submit payment through the mail or by stopping by the town's clerk office, 20 Center Street, first floor, Town Hall Annex, Bank Building, Middleboro, MA 02346. Stop by Monday through Friday, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m., or purchase the dog license online, provided the dog has been licensed in the town of Middleboro before. As a reminder, all dogs must be registered by March 31st. Dogs licensed April 1st to April 30th will be assessed a late fee of $10. Dog licenses not renewed by May 1st are subject to a $50 fine. The late fees shall be in addition to the license fee referenced above. Alright, very important, dog licensing. Please, if you haven't done it yet, please do that. Very important. Right. We have a blood drive coming up in the local town of Halifax. It happens to me, it happens to be about 5-10 minutes away from where I live, where this blood drive will take place. Red Cross Blood Drive, Halifax Town Hall. Friday, February the 19th, 2021, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Due to the need for blood donations, and because the town's previous blood drives in 2020 have gone so well, the town of Halifax is sponsoring an additional Red Cross blood drive in the Great Hall of the Halifax Town Hall, 499 Plymouth Street, Halifax, MA 02338, on Friday, February the 19th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Because of the season and the pandemic, the Red Cross has an urgent need for blood. Anyone interested in participating can visit redcrossblood.org and type in 02338, and you'll find the particular blood drive, the Halifax blood drive, and make an appointment for a convenient time. There is also 2 blood drives in Middleboro for right around the same time in early February. Just 1 second, I will tell you what they are. They are as follows. Friday, February 5th, 2021. Middleboro YMCA, 61 East Grove Street, Middleboro, MA 02346, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Their phone number is 508-947-1390. And Tuesday, February the 16th, Church of Our Savior, 60 Union Street, Middleboro 02346, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Their number is 508-947-1900. So those are the blood drives. There are 3 of them coming up in the month of February. If you can give blood, please do so. It's very important, especially during the pandemic. The need for blood is heightened because of the pandemic. All right, let's switch gears really quick to sports. Sports, really important. The NFL games, really important. The Packers picked up a victory and are on to the next round, as many people thought they would be. The Rams were a little bit injured. They weren't at 100%, and a lot of people expected the Rams to fall to the Packers, and they did. 32-18. Good game. Really good game. They kept in it, but the Packers were too much for the Rams. The Bills, and I'm going to say this, they upset the Ravens. I think this was an upset by the Bills, and for one reason only, is because the Bills have a little bit less of playoff experience recently. So that's why I said that it was an upset. So the Bills go on to the next round to face... I'm not sure who they'll face yet. I think the winner of the Browns and Chiefs will be interesting to see that. I don't know who will win. Really up in the air. I'm not going to say the Chiefs are going to easily win it because the Browns could upset them. There's been upsets in the playoffs before. A lot of people are saying the Chiefs will win this game. I am going to wait to make my predictions until I actually watch the game. I'm not going to make any predictions when it comes to this game. It's a really, really big game for both teams. And Tampa takes on the Saints today. That's a extremely important game. They face the winner. They face the Packers. So the winner of that game faces the Packers. So be an interesting day here of sports to settle the AFC and NFC championship games. Of course, the Super Bowl will take place February the 7th with a halftime show headlined by The Weeknd. Pop hip hop artist, The Weeknd. He really popular. I've listened to some of his music. It's really good, and I think people will enjoy the halftime show. All right, Bruins lost last night. They lost to the Devils in a shootout. Well, not a shootout, but it was close. It was 1.7 seconds away or so from being a shootout. So it was a very, very close game for most of the game until the overtime goal by the Devils. So they split the series, the 2-game, little series to start the season. And they go on next to face the Islanders and then the Flyers on Thursday. The Islanders game will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. and the Flyers game will be on Thursday at 7. Celtics got back into action the past few days. They got back into action on Friday, beating the Magic 124-97. Tonight, well, not tonight, today, actually, the 1 o'clock game, a matinee game, they take on the New York Knicks. And then they take on the Philadelphia 76ers on Wednesday, and then again on Friday. So a back-to-back with the Philadelphia 76ers awaits them after the game with New York. The game to watch coming up in the next couple of weeks will be the Lakers and the Celtics. That will take place on Saturday, January the 30th. So that's a little bit of ways away, but that is the first game to watch because they are two good teams. They are the top 2 teams in the league right now, record-wise. So that is sports. That is sports. All right. We have South Coast Rail update here, and let me get that up. So Don, what do you think about? I don't know if there's any new updates on 4424, but I think we've mentioned this before. What do you think about how they did?
I think they did a great job on that. I really do. That's a beautiful bridge. That whole intersection's nice. Once it's 100% done, I think they got to do a little bit of landscaping around the islands area, and then I think they need one more layer of pavement. Looks to me, and then striping do the line striping with the big old arrows, and they've done a really great job. And who knows if they're going to do any reflectors. They might. But I figure once the weather breaks, maybe around, I mean, they can't really pave in this weather. I've seen them pave. Depends if we get a stretch of warm weather, they'll try to finish it up. But I mean, you got to be careful. Again, you can't be painting stuff in January. You don't know what's going to happen. So they might have that slated to. That job's like 98% done.
Yes.
The Jersey barriers on the eastern side lifted, and they just got some equipment. This just got cleaned up. Do a little housekeeping there. I said one more. It looks like one more layer of pavement, of asphalt in some areas, and line striping. And maybe if they got to do the reflectors, they'll probably do that on the approach, even on the bridge, which is technically concrete.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great bridge. Nice and wide, and the approval of the approaches on the 24 side too, on the line striping, because years ago when you got on 24, that was really tight. That's an old highway, old designed highway, but now they got the scattered, the scattered lines, I'd call them, diced lines, I'd say. They're not like regular lines, they're like dice lines, meaning it gives you the approach to get going, meaning you're not stopped at the entrance, and you're not going out to oncoming traffic, because it's so tight. A lot of people don't know what to do getting on the highway. It's either they got to cut off the traffic, or they got to sit there and then race in front of traffic. So now they got the approach, the line approach. So it's even down on 24, even though the highway's still tight, still an older design highway. It looks a little more safe down there anyway, getting it on and off, because it's always been a little bit knuckle, those little white knuckle getting on. Even for the most experienced drivers, you got to be really careful, because it's not technically an interstate. It's not under federal guidelines as an interstate. 495, 3 is. 24 isn't. That road's been there forever. For 495, I mean, there for a long time, so it's not. Doesn't meet interstate standards, because it's older.
All right, South Coast.
Maybe one day, you asked, right? Maybe one day, as they widen it, because all the newer exits are relatively new, that bridge they built is up to interstate standards. Now they're just going to widen the road. The bridge that they put over the Taunton River on 24, between Taunton and Raynham, that's wide. That's almost 3 lanes wide. Since they rebuilt that about, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, they rebuilt that. So little by little, that highway can be an interstate. It could be up, so obviously from Route 128 all the way to Bridgewater, 495, that's 3 lanes. That's definitely interstate quality. But the stretch from where Raynham goes down to Fall River, that's not. It's the older style highway, but maybe they're building that up, because once they got interstate status, that means the highway has really helped. You get a lot of money from the federal government.
Yeah.
As far as the state just taking care of it.
All right. Switching gears to South Coast Rail. We haven't talked about it in a few weeks. We have to talk about it every couple of weeks. There's small updates that happen every few weeks, and
yeah, where they change the light bulb or something.
A little bit more than that, but
Yeah.
a little bit more than that. The culvert replacement will take place up until June of 2021, so that's still ongoing, still a work in progress. Early action building demolition, there's no updates there.
Demolition for
demolition, what? Building demolitions for stations and stuff. That they're gonna where they're gonna put stations. So there's no update on that.
They had to do that.
They had to do some demolition. Yes. There's no update on it since we last talked about that. Mainline construction, Phase 1 mainline construction updates. And work on Middleboro Secondary and New Bedford mainline update. General activities. This week and next, the contractor continues with tree clearing and erosion control at the new Middleboro Station and East Taunton Station sites along the railroad right of way between the two sites. The contractor also continues with survey work along the railroad right-of-way from Middleboro to New Bedford. Location of work, new Middleboro Station site, 161 South Main Street of Middleboro. East Taunton site, 1141 County Street, Taunton.
That's over near the Purple Dinosaur? Or the old Purple Dinosaur?
Not 100% sure.
I'm not either. I can try to figure
Seems
out exactly where
maybe.
that's going to be.
The Middleboro Secondary and New Bedford Main Line right-of-way. That's the current week we're in, January 11th through January 15th. So we're not into that week, but we're in the weekend now.
Yeah,
the next week
that's been done.
That's been done. The next week, January 18th through the 22nd. So we'll have some updates every few weeks when it comes to this work.
Again, the weather, other than that snowstorm we had in December, we have no snow on the ground. Temperature's been relatively mild, so they're moving. They should be chugging right along with no delays at this point in time.
And also, Fall River Secondary Mainline update. Delivery of railroad ties to Campanelli Drive in Freetown. Over the duration of this project, the contractor will be installing a new track along the South Coast Rail Corridor. Construction of this track involves the delivery of new railroad ties to the project construction laydown yard in Freetown. Deliveries begin in December of 2020 and will continue every few weeks until early 2021.
You know why they're replacing the tracks, right? They're existing freight rails. They've been freight lines for years. For speed, they have to be able to increase their speed. Those tracks need to accommodate at least 60 miles an hour, if not faster. I'm not sure what the speed limit is going to be on that. I know the Bedford line, that's a pretty straight stretch of track. So who knows what the speed limit's going to be. But those freight trains, I've seen those freight trains run down there. They're doing 25, 30 miles an hour on that track. And I think that may be I'm not 100% sure without researching it, but I think those tracks are 25 mile or 30 mile an hour only. So, you can't build a commuter rail 30 miles an hour and walk faster than that. That's why you have to. So that means the freight trains might be able to go a little faster now. I'm not saying they go as fast as the commuter trains, but they may be able to increase the speed with the new track and ties.
All right, we got a small update on the Middleboro High School building. Like we said, after February vacation is when they will be moving in to the new high school. So February vacation is closing in here very quickly. It's in a couple of weeks. They held a building committee meeting in November. This is from November. So since November, there hasn't been an update on if the new building will be open in February. So I'm pretty sure that is still the case. It will be open in February. And the update that we have is we have a date for remaining demolition and site work. The overall project completion date has not changed. The remaining demolition and site work will be complete in August of 2021. So, like I said, the school department is presently planning to move into the building over February vacation. There hasn't been any changes to that, as far as I am aware. So that's still probably the case. And the finish of demolition is August of 2021. So that would mean they would be finishing up demolition of the old school. So demolition of the old school will probably start taking place pretty soon.
They got the weather for it. Those guys don't stop anyway. Even if it could be 10 feet of snow out there, they'll still work. It's just easier for them not to deal with snow clearing and all that extra activity we have to deal with when you have weather. But those big excavators, I mean, those not going to stop a demolition job, no way. But it's just better when there's no snow on the ground to deal with, as far as, because then you got to clear it. I remember after the snowstorm we had in December, drove by a couple of construction sites, and they were just, I think one day they were just clearing snow so they can continue working on their project they were working on. So I mean, you totally lose, and then you wake and you start and everything's icy, you know, it's a little bit more treacherous for the guys. So I mean, I think of people who work a lot in this weather, because I work on this weather. And snow's pretty and blah blah blah, and I know the plow guys need to make money, I understand that too. But I mean, it's really dangerous for the construction guys. Once you get to deal with ice and snow and everything, it's nice when it's melting. There's no snow on the ground now, other than like a few snowbanks and then some ice.
Yeah.
If we get, if we get rain and it turns to ice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still, we're still in January. Anything can happen. But it's just better that
anything can happen. In 2015 was the example of that.
Well,
we weren't getting much snow.
Did January 26th
and then
comes along.
Late January, and boom,
Yeah.
all the snow.
It didn't
at
stop.
Once.
It didn't stop for 6 weeks. It didn't stop till the end of. And I remember the Patriots were in the Super Bowl and they just squeaked out of here on a plane.
Yep.
I'm not sure who they were playing, where they were going, but I think they were going somewhere warm.
2015.
Arizona or something like that. They were playing in Arizona at the time.
2015 Super Bowl.
I remember they just squeaked out of here, and they just flew out of here, and then another storm came and pummeled us. That was around February 4th, February 5th.
That was the famous Seattle Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl. The one where Malcolm Butler made that goal line.
Was that the one we were
interception?
Was that the one we were never ahead? What was the one we were? Oh, that was with the Falcons.
That was the Falcons. This one we were close.
We were never ahead.
I don't know if we went never ahead in Seattle, but versus
right.
Seattle.
But the other one, the Falcons.
The other one, yeah, we were never ahead.
Right.
And 28-3, and then a comeback for the ages.
That's always been the Pats, though.
That has been.
Very dangerous team.
Oh, yeah, that has been.
Very dangerous.
And it will continue to be.
It will.
It will continue to be. This year was an outlier.
Well,
this year was an outlier, not the rule, not the general rule.
This year was a dumpster fire on
Yes.
everything because of COVID and everything that was going on, and it's just, I don't know. They did the best that they can to get a season going or whatnot. You didn't expect it to get this far when the COVID cases were popping back up around November. But, I mean, it looks like they have a Super Bowl, and that's good.
All right, let's take a commercial break.
Oh,
You're listening to WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM, Middleboro in Review. We'll be right back. All right. Program. Gonna talk about programs for today, and then I'm gonna mention again this, and then Today in History,
All right.
and we'll be done. We'll be done for today's program. Flew by. It flew by. Absolutely flew by.
I'm Reverend Liz Walker of the Roxbury
Good
Presbyterian
morning, Scott.
and former TV news anchor, and I'm here with pediatrician Reverend Gloria Hammond.
Together, we want to remind
Do-
everyone in Massachusetts about the importance of vaccinations. Amidst the global
Did I play
pandemic,
Combat Vets
routine
last time?
doctor's visits and
I don't remember hearing it.
vaccinations like the yearly flu vaccine
All right, that's all
are
right.
more important than ever.
With
That's
our
all right.
healthcare system pushed to its limits in fighting COVID-19,
I'm gonna
it's critical
play it
to
once
get
a show
every
anyway.
shot.
I know it says twice on the show, but
Hospitalization and death while saving healthcare resources.
I might cut that down to one.
COVID.
Vaccines have been shown to be safe and effective in eradicating once common.
Just to make room for a sponsor.
Listen to trusted sources of vaccine information and ask your
'Cause I'm-
doctor if you have any questions.
I'm gonna be talking to sponsors pretty soon. I'm gonna be talking to sponsors. I have a couple in mind.
Get the facts at protectedtogether.org, sponsored by the Massachusetts Health Council.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing
Association
this
of
last time.
Combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces.
1,
who ride
6,
motorcycles
3.
as a hobby.
Bam. Perfect.
Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly
Let me see if I can
50
pronounce
states
his name.
living abroad.
Jesse
Many members
Bergerling.
serve in our armed forces, with
Can you
several
pronounce his
serving
name,
in
Dad?
combat areas
Do you know how to pronounce his name? It's Swedish. So,
Right.
the name on top there. Jesse Bergerling. It's Swedish, so I don't want to mess it up. Alright, whatever. I'll just say tune in for Musical Odyssey at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that's all.
I won't say the name of the program. 'Cause I don't want to mess it up. Mess it up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I gotta play 163. Almost forgot that one.
That's the other one.
Vincent de Paul,
Yeah.
Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
And we're back here on Middleboro Review. Real quick, programs for today that will be taking place after us. At 8:05 this morning, we have Bread of Life, today's program. After This is the name of today's program. So tune in after us to listen to After This is the name of the Bread of Life program for today. 8:30, Rosary. 9 o'clock, the Talking Birds program with Ray Brown. Great information about birds and birding. At 9:30, Keys of the Kingdom. At 10 o'clock, a new program that started about a month ago here on WVBF. All on God with Edna Isaac. At 11 o'clock, we have the Musical Odyssey program for today. At noon, Sounds of the Emerald Isle with Jim Larkin. 2 hours of great Irish music and comedy. And at 2 o'clock, Stand Up Strong with Ed Miller and Tony Branch to end the Sunday. Again, we want to just mention real quick the MLK Creating the Promised Land event called Through Hope, Love, Joy, and Peace. It is tomorrow night, Monday, January 18th, on YouTube, 7 p.m. The special guest speaker will be Reverend Roosevelt Etheridge Jr. of Wilson, North Carolina. So, again, make sure to tune into that program tomorrow night on YouTube. All right, today in histories, we have a couple. We already mentioned one of them. The one we didn't mention, 1899, the United States takes possession of Wake Island. So Wake Island becomes property of the United States. Wake Island is in the Pacific Ocean. That happened 1899, January 17th. Birthdays that we have today. The voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, turns 90.
Wow.
90 today. Of course, that's not the only movie he was in. He was in so many more films.
Oh, he was great. He was great in all the movies, the Jack Ryan movies.
He was in movies like Doctor Strangelove.
He was in
'64.
Hunt for Red October too.
Yes, Star Wars in 1977. The Empire Strikes Back in 1980. Many more. Coming to America, which is getting a sequel. Actually, yes, it's getting a sequel, and he'll be in it.
And Eddie Murphy?
Oh, wait, no, he won't be in it. I'm sorry. He will not be in it. I'm sorry. He won't be. Wait a minute.
You gotta read that right, buddy.
Wait a minute. No, he will be. He will be.
Yeah.
In
Jaffrey. Yeah.
And probably a.
What about James?
A small role.
What about James Olmos? John.
Coming to America, the second one.
Yeah.
He will be in it.
Who else is in it?
Probably in a small role though.
All right. Eddie Murphy.
Who else is gonna be in it? All the original characters, pretty much. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Who did you say?
John Amos.
John Amos, yeah.
John
Amos will be in it.
He was the father in Good Times, and he was...
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes was in that movie?
A lot of people are going to be in it. Leslie Jones, a lot of people. Tracy Morgan, a lot of people.
Those are all newer people.
Newer people. A lot of people are going to be in this new film. It's coming out this year, March of 2021, and it will be a Amazon... Prime Video exclusive.
Wow.
And Paramount will release it in the theaters in some countries, but it will be an Amazon type release.
That was a great movie.
And that's been the case for a lot of the films.
That was an awesome movie. That movie's just great.
He was also in the new Lion King that came out in 2019.
Samuel L. Jackson was in that movie too. I think that was one of his first roles.
What?
Samuel L. Jackson. He played a small role in that movie. He was the he robbed the restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yes. Coming to
Samuel L. Jackson vocabulary is. You know what I mean? It's just
goes
along with Samuel L. Jackson. That's who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except for Mace Windu in the Star Wars movies. There, the first he kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
Something that I did learn about that role, about Mace Windu, that almost didn't go to Samuel L. Jackson. That almost went to Tupac.
Really?
The rapper, yes. It almost went to him. But it went to Samuel L. Jackson.
Is that the time when he was killed?
That was right around the time he was killed, yes. All right. Muhammad Ali has a birthday today. The famous boxer. The very famous boxer. He made boxing big. He made boxing really, really big.
His real name was Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay, yes. Yeah. He made boxing extremely big at the time. Multiple-time champion. Muhammad Ali. Birthday today. And we lost a president on this day. In 1893, Rutherford B. Hayes passed away. He's the 19th president of the United States. He was also an American general, lawyer, and politician. Rutherford B. Hayes. 19th president of the United States. All right. 8:01 a.m. After the news, Bread of Life will be coming up here on WVBF, along with so many other great programs here on a Sunday morning, the 17th of January, 2021. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. Again, that YouTube event, please check that out tomorrow night, 7 p.m. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green, we are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Come on.
Is that shut off?
Yeah, everything's off. Come on, there we go. 3-minute news. Bye, everybody.